Hi friends, Stephanie here, and I'm back with more movie chatter. And what I have for you today are some of my favorite summer movies. Now, I tried to pick ones. It's really easy to pick the same ones all the time because there are tried and true ones that we all go to. And I have done some of these lists before, so what I try to do is mix it up a little bit. Also, I'm going to do a part 2 to this where I am going to focus on my favorite horror summer picks. As you can see, Jaws right behind me will be on there. But so that'll be coming up next. So today's just straight on summer themed or summer feeling films. And I'm going to start off with one. This is by Ang Lee, and it is based on, inspired by a true story, and it is called Taking Woodstock. And this one really surprised me. It takes place during the summer of Woodstock, and this young guy is helping his parents run their run-down roadside motel. And he is trying to think of ways that he can get improvements and catch them up on the bills. They're kind of behind on their mortgage payments and whatnot. And he thinks, oh, if we could put a swimming pool in and do all these things, they're not going to give him a loan. So he needs to make money fast. And when Woodstock starts to come into town and they negotiate with some of the people that are going to the festival, their motel just blows up with reservations, and it is such a wild ride. It is so much fun. It's so heartfelt, so funny, and I was really impressed with this one. This one totally surprised me. I'd never heard of it, read about it, picked it up. And if you're interested in Woodstock, there's a really good like a documentary. It's called Woodstock, the Director's Cut, and this is, it has over 9 hours of movie, music, and extras, and you can pick this up really reasonable over on Amazon. So if you just want like a cool, music video type of thing, concert movie to put on in the background while you're hanging around the house or something, this is really, really good. And if you like Woodstock, that era and that kind of music, there's things from, there's clips from Santana, The Who, Crosby, Stills and Nash, Joan Baez, Jefferson Airplane, special features of the 40th anniversary editions of The Grateful Dead, Johnny Winter and Jimi Hendrix, and so much more, but both really, really good. So Taking Woodstock the movie and Woodstock the actual festival, the director's cut, both really good. And this one is, I believe it's out of print, but you can get it on DVD for about $9, or you can just stream it on Prime. It is called The Kings of Summer. It says, in the tradition of Stand By Me with the offbeat edge of Moonrise Kingdom. So what more could you want? And it also stars Nick Offerman, who I love. And this is just the story. It's a coming-of-age story, which a lot of summer movies tend to be. It's a coming-of-age story about some guys, some friends that are... they're tired of living under their parents' roof, and they decide that they are going to take to the wild for the summer. They're going to build their own home, and they're going to hunt for their own food and all kinds of things. And they decide to just take off, but their parents don't know where they are, so they're wondering if they've been kidnapped or if they've just gone missing or if they've run away. And it is just a lot of fun, a lot of heart. And this is one that I really, really did enjoy too. The Kings of Summer. Highly recommend it. And like I said, out of print in the Blu-ray. I'm sure it'll come back eventually. I hope. It's Sony, so it should. Maybe we'll get a 4K. Who knows? But this is well worth the watch, even if you just stream it. Now this one, speaking of coming out of print, this is one that so many of us were waiting for so long. And Vinegar Syndrome came through with their new line. What is it? Cinematograph? I think it's called Cinematograph. I think I said that right. It is... It's from the 80s. Yeah, it's from the 1980s, and it stars Christy McNichol and Tatum O'Neal, little darlings. And what a great, beautiful release this is. I've shown it before. We get like a digibook style, so you get like a digibook style to hold the movies, and you have your movies housed in the back, and then you get an actual booklet of writing about the movies. I mean, these releases are they're just stellar releases from this new line that Vinegar Syndrome has started. And it is a Paramount title, but this was vaulted forever. Nobody could get the rights to it. But anyway, it's basically about gals who go to summer camp. Tatum O'Neal and Christy McNichol play two gals who go to summer camp, and they're kind of on the verge of wanting to become women, if you will, and they wager a bet at the beginning of camp to see who can meet a guy and get the deed done first, and all the girls pick sides and they make bets, and it's just a fun coming of age story, and I'm so happy that this finally got a release. We finally have access to it, and it is a great film. And if you haven't picked it up, head over to Vinegar Syndrome while they're still having their halfway to Black Friday sale. Maybe you can grab a copy of this, even if you get, I don't know if they still have this edition available. Maybe there's a standard edition, but definitely check into Little Darlings. It is well worth it. It's a really fun coming of age movie. And this one, I love this one, and I love food, and it just makes me so hungry, like I need more help in that department. I'm always hungry after I watch it. And it stars Jon Favreau, and it is called Chef. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen this one. If you have not, put it on your list to check out. We have a young fella who is, he wants to spend the summer with his father, who is a chef, and he has a food truck, and he travels around with this food truck, and he does his thing. And the young fella decides, I forget what his name is. Jon Favreau actually wrote, directed, and produced this one. It also stars Scarlett Johansson, John Leguizamo, Dustin Hoffman, Oliver Platt, Robert Downey Jr. Wow, I forgot what an amazing cast this was. But Carl is the father, and he decides to leave his job and open up this food truck, and then he decides he's going to go away for the summer, and his son wants to go with him, and he's kind of estranged from his son. He doesn't see him a lot, so this gives him the opportunity to do what he loves, which is cook the food and spend time with his son, who helps him with the food truck. And this is just such a great movie, so heartwarming, so great. And I mean, like I said, I forgot what a stacked cast this is, so if you haven't seen Chef, definitely check this one out. It is well worth the watch. And this one I have talked about before. I know that people who have watched it really enjoyed it. And I don't know that it's a summer film per se, but nothing is more summer than Beach Boys music. This one stars John Cusack, Paul Dano, Elizabeth Banks, and Paul Giamatti. It says it's the best musical biopic in decades. I have to agree. It is Love and Mercy, the amazing story of the Beach Boys, Brian Wilson. This is probably the best biopic I have ever seen. And it is Brian Wilson's story, and it covers from when he's a very young man right through to you know, adulthood, and with the Beach Boys and all the things that he did with the Beach Boys. And it also shows how troubled he was and his struggles with mental health and things like that, and how they tried to manage him. And I don't want to get too much into it for those of you who haven't seen it, but if you want to see an amazing biopic, definitely check out Love and Mercy. You will not be disappointed. And I think I've seen this one right over on Hamilton Book, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if it's in, I don't know if I saw it this month, but I have seen it over there before. I may have gotten it there, but definitely look for Love and Mercy. I'm sure you can get a copy on Amazon, but this is well worth the watch. It's fantastic. And like I said, what says summer like Beach Boys music, right? So definitely check out the biopic of Brian Wilson. And this one is just, it's so much fun. It's a great comedy. It almost reminds me of like Superbad for gals, but we have, it says Booksmart, getting straight A's, giving 0 F's. And what we have is we have our two main gals, and they are straight A students, and it's their last summer before they go off to college, and they decide they have done nothing fun in their high school career because all they've done is study with the intention of getting into a good school. So they decide they're just going to throw caution into the wind, and they are just going to blow it out for the summer and have a great time. And that's what they do. And we follow them on their adventures. And what a blast. This is so funny. And I know a lot of people talked about it when it first came out. People liked it. It was well received. And then all of a sudden, you know, kind of like we do with a lot of things, is like just kind of faded away and people stopped talking about it. So I figured I would pull it out and bring some light back to it, because I think this is well worth a watch, and it's one that we should be talking about more. But Booksmart, it's a winner. It is so funny. The performances all around are great, and I just love this film. Actually, I'm going to bring it upstairs. I'm going to watch it again tonight because I adore this film. So much fun. And this one, just, it always reminds me of my grandparents. My grandmother loved this movie because she lived through this actual event. And it is a Sidney Lumet film, who, if you've been around the channel, you know I love Sidney Lumet. Based on true events, it is Al Pacino in Dog Day Afternoon. And this took place, it says, a hot Brooklyn afternoon. And I believe it took place in August, the actual event. But these two guys go in, Al Pacino being one, and John Cazale being the other one. They go in and they decide to rob this bank, and we follow them through trying to navigate this robbery that they're doing, and how they want to take the people in the bank as hostages and use them to get out of the bank, get away with the money, get a plane, the whole deal. You've seen this type of thing before. They're always trying to get out of where they're stuck. But this is really good, and it's based on true events. And there's actually a documentary about the real guy, the part that Al Pacino plays. His name is Sonny in the movie, and there's a real guy, and the documentary is called The Dog. And if you ever get a chance to pick it up or stream it, he's quite a character, and he's very, very proud of what he did here. Now, like, he did his jail time and whatnot, but he's very proud of this movie, and he thinks he is a movie star because of this actual movie that they did about him. But The Dog is a really, really interesting companion piece to Dog Day Afternoon. But I love this movie. I could watch it over and over and over again. And like I said, always reminds me of my grandmother, because my grandparents just love this movie and they watch it all the time. So Dog Day Afternoon is a good one. And this one is fun. I've talked about it before, and it stars Jesse Eisenberg, Kristen Stewart, Bill Hader, Kristen Wiig, and Ryan Reynolds. It's from the director of Superbad. It is called Adventureland. And Jesse Eisenberg plays a fella who has graduated college, and he wants to go off to grad school. So instead of just hanging out for the summer, he ends up taking a job at this like cheesy, tacky amusement park called Adventureland. And that's how he's spending his summer. And he's so miserable because that is not what he had planned for the summer. And so what he does is he takes this job, and he starts to develop a crush on Kristen Stewart, of course. And we just follow him on his adventures, getting to know the people that work at the carnival, getting to know how he has to do this menial job that he doesn't want to do, and all his adventures on his last summer before he goes off to grad school. But this is so much fun. And I mean, what screams summer more than taking like the worst job possible, a job that you feel is beneath you, but then finding out that maybe there's some cool people or some fun parts to it. But we've all had those jobs, we've all had those adventures, if you're old enough, if you're old like me. But this is a blast. Adventureland, if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. If you have seen it, watch it again, because it's a good one. Okay, we have a few more, and then we're going to wrap this one up. And this next one is an imprint title. I'm not sure if there are I don't think there's a Blu-ray available here in the States, but this may still be available as a standard release, or there might be some DVDs on Amazon. But this is definitely worth a watch, or you can stream it. It stars a very, very young Emily Blunt. Like, I'm talking like maybe 16, 17 years old, and Natalie Press. It is called My Summer of Love. And Emily Blunt plays a very rich and very spoiled and very devious person. Her name is Tamsin. And they say she is spoiled and bored. And she meets Mona, this other gal, who she's very naive, and she kind of just follows along with whatever direction someone pushes her in. And they start to hang out. And she's very, very captivated by, I always forget, Tamsin. It's a strange name for me to remember, so I always forget the name. She's very captivated with Tamsin, and the excitement that she brings to her life. And they start hanging out together, they start doing things, and their friendship becomes very involved, and to the point of where it becomes an intimate relationship. But there's a lot more going on than meets the eye, and I can't really say too much about this because I will ruin it, but this one is so, so good. And I wish I could say more. Just watch this one, because it will surprise you. And Emily Blunt, even way back then, you could see that she was going to be an absolute star. She's fantastic in this. And the twists and the turns that happen in the third act, I was kind of sitting there with my mouth open. I couldn't believe what happened. But really, really good stuff here. So if you can grab My Summer of Love, definitely give it a watch, or even stream it if you can't pick up a physical copy. Like I said, this is the imprint one. It's from 2004. It's number 229 from imprint, or just, like I said, stream it or look for a DVD on Amazon. But definitely My Summer of Love, see it some way. Now this one, I would be remiss if this wasn't on my list. I mean, come on. It's the 20th anniversary of the Sandlot. little Scotty Smalls moves into the new neighborhood and he starts to play baseball. He's terrible. You're killing me, Smalls. It's great. It's fun. It's everything that summer is for, about for little boys, little guys his age, and this is just a whole lot of fun, and I watch it every year, at least once in the summer, sometimes twice, but I just think this is a classic, and everybody's probably seen it, but I had to put it on the list because, I mean, come on, it's the Sandlot, come on. And this is actually a really cool edition. This is the 20th anniversary. It has the embossed baseball on the slipcover, and then they give you, on the inside, they actually give you a pack of little baseball cards of all the kids, so it's really cool, and the disc is a baseball, but it's just a fun edition. So if you can find this 20th anniversary edition, you'll get the baseball cards and everything. And I mean, just watch the Sandlot. It's great. Staying with the baseball theme, I'm doing this. This one's a Warner Archive. It only comes in DVD. I wish this would get a Blu-ray. It's so deserving of a Blu-ray. It stars Gary Cooper in The Pride of the Yankees. And it is about the life and career of Lou Gehrig, who played for the New York Yankees. And it says Gary Cooper is nothing short of wonderful. The moving story of Lou Gehrig, the Hall of Fame baseball player who reached the heights of stardom, only to face tragedy with dignity that inspired a nation. Now, this one was nominated for 11 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. The Pride of the Yankees is a glorious and inspiring sports classic. I mean, I couldn't say it any better myself, so that's why I just read the back of this one, because I love this movie and I have watched it over and over and over again. I don't know if it's a press disc. It may be a made-on-demand. Yeah, it's a little darker, so it's a made-on-demand disc, but it plays just fine. I mean, I have played this one over and over, and it has never skipped, never frozen, no problems with it. But definitely, if you haven't seen The Pride of the Yankees, whether you're a baseball fan or not, everybody should know the story of Lou Gehrig, and this is so well done. It is fantastic, fantastic film. So please pick this up and watch it, and let's hope that we get a Blu-ray, at least a Blu-ray release of that one, because it is so deserved. I can't believe a movie can be nominated for 11 Academy Awards and not get a Blu-ray release. It blows my mind. So that's why we do what we do in places like this. All the channels that are supporting physical media. That's why we're doing this. Now, this one is a second sight release. It's actually from 1966, and it's a documentary called The Endless Summer. And you might think, oh, 1966, it's going to be terrible. This is so good. Yes, it may be the picture quality, maybe it's a little dated, but it's still really, really good. And what it is this filmmaker follows these two guys who are really diehard surfers, and they are searching for the perfect wave. Aren't they all, right? But it's great. And it says it's the definitive surf movie. Bruce Brown's iconic documentary follows two young American surfers, Robert August and Mike Heinsohn, as they search the globe for the perfect wave. Now, I'll tell you where they go. It takes them from California to Senegal, Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, Tahiti, and Hawaii, with little more than their surfboards, wax as luggage. This is such a great surf movie, such a great documentary, such a great sports movie. Even if you're not into surfing, this is awesome. So definitely check out The Endless Summer. Even if you don't get the second sight release, I'm sure there's a Blu-ray or a DVD or something streaming available. Just see it, because it is well worth it. And like I said, whether you're into surfing or not, it's a summer movie. It's a documentary. It is awesome. And this next one, I would be remiss again if I didn't have this on here. I just love it. It's from director George Lucas, American Graffiti, and we basically follow a group of high school guys and gals. It is their last night of summer before they all go their separate ways, and this is awesome. I love the soundtrack. I love the acting. I love that they're hanging out at the drive-in. It's got that like 60s vibe to it. I just love it. And the cast, it's from producer Francis Ford Coppola. It stars Ron Howard, Richard Dreyfuss, Harrison Ford, Cindy Williams, Mackenzie Phillips, and Suzanne Summers in their breakout roles in this nostalgic look back as they follow a group of teenagers as they cruise the streets on their last summer night before college. And it was nominated for 5 Academy Awards. This is fantastic. If you've not seen American Graffiti, please put it on your list to see. It is so, so good. I do have the 4K, but I haven't checked it out yet. I heard the picture quality is not great, so if it's not good, I'm very happy sticking with the Blu-ray because this looks just fine to me, but I have watched this so many times. I love this movie. Really, really good stuff. So definitely check out American Graffiti. And I mentioned this one earlier, I think with Kings of Summer, but this is the Criterion edition. So if you don't pick it up now, definitely put it on your list for the upcoming, hopefully upcoming Barnes & Noble sale in July. But it is Wes Anderson's Moonrise Kingdom. I love this movie. Basically, we're focused on two young 12-year-olds, a little boy and a little girl, who have fallen in love and they want to run off together, and they're living on this island. And when they take off and no one can find them, the whole community is out searching for them, and it is nothing but laughs. It is so, so funny. There is a segment kind of towards the middle of the film where they're writing, the little boy and the little girl writing letters back and forth to each other. I cry laughing every time that segment goes on. It is perfect. It is perfectly written. But even if you're not a Wes Anderson fan, and I know people who are not Wes Anderson fans and they have watched Moonrise Kingdom and loved it, so definitely give it a chance. It's so good, and this is a really nice release. It's a digipack style. It has the cast here. It says it's got Bill Murray. It's got Frances McDormand. Bruce Willis is in it. There's a bunch of other people. Who else is in here? Harvey Keitel is in here. Who else is in here? I don't know who the kids are. Edward Norton, but you can see you have all the characters, and then you have the kids on the back. But it's such a nice addition. It comes with art cards and a book, and it comes with a map that they use when they run off together, and you get your disc. But hopefully they still have the digipack edition because it's really a nice one. And I love this movie. I recommend this to everyone, and I have never had anyone say they didn't like it. So Moonrise Kingdom is a must-see for summer. Okay, and this next one, I love this movie. And recently I heard Miranda over at Miranda's Movie Madness. I'm going to link her down in the description. Her channel's great. Go subscribe to her. She talked about this, and she made a point that she kind of expected this to be more of a comedy, and it's actually more of a drama, coming-of-age drama. And she's exactly right. I couldn't have said it better myself. So this one stars Steve Carell, Toni Collette, Allison Janney, Sam Rockwell, Maya Rudolph, and Liam James in The Way, Way Back. And this is a great summer film, great coming-of-age drama. And Duncan is the kid's name. Duncan goes away with his mother, played by Toni Collette, and her new boyfriend, or existing boyfriend, Steve Carell. Steve Carell is not a very nice guy, and he's not very nice to Duncan. He picks on him, he kind of bullies him, and he's not a good guy. He's not even nice to Toni Collette, and Duncan wants nothing to do with him. He doesn't want to be there. They're in this rental house, and he finds a bike, and he takes off on this bike. It's a girl's bike, and he's riding around the little town, and he comes upon this water park, and he starts to hang out there, and Sam Rockwell is one of the bosses there. Gives him a job, kind of takes him under his wing, and we follow him on his summer adventure and how he comes to find people at this water park who he kind of bonds with, and he's kind of forming relationships that he's really happy with and really connected to that he just doesn't have at home, and he is trying to avoid his home life at all costs. And it's a really, really good coming-of-age drama. And like I said, if you haven't seen this, definitely put it on your list. If you've seen it, definitely watch it again because this is very, very good. And it's one that I watch over and over again, and it's just one of those stories that just stayed with me from the first time I saw it. But The Way, Way Back is one of my favorites for summer. And this next one is the ultimate buddy journey. I mean, you're all going to know it, but I just love this one. It stars Will Wheaton, River Phoenix, Corey Feldman, Jerry O'Connell, and Kiefer Sutherland in Stand By Me. And you all know the story. I'm sure you've all seen it. If you haven't, what are you doing? Pick it up and see it. We have a group of friends. They're taking off, these young guys. It's their last week of summer before they go off to school, and they are going out because they heard there is a dead body somewhere in the woods. So they go off on this adventure where they're walking and they're going to camp out and they're spending time together, and they're looking for this dead body, and they want to find it before these older bullies find it and claim to have, make claims to finding the body. So we follow them on their adventure, and we see the friendships and the bonding, and it's just such a great coming-of-age movie, and reminding you of times when you had these friends that you would just do all kinds of crazy things with and hang out with in the summer. And everybody should have friends like these guys have. So I just think that Stand By Me is just, it's such a classic. It's so good, so heartwarming. And I mean, we've since lost River Phoenix, but it's such a great performance by everybody in this film. All the actors did a great job. And I just love this one. I watch it again and again. So it is based on the short story by Stephen King called The Body. So very, very good one. And then this one, Spike Lee. This is one of my favorite Spike Lee films, and I think a lot of people will agree. There's also a really nice Criterion edition if you want to put it on your list for the sale. I just grabbed the steelbook because I love this steelbook. It's called Do the Right Thing. It takes, look at this steelbook. It is so nice. Here's the front. I just think it captures the vibe of the movie so well. This was one of the steelbooks that got me back into steelbook collecting when I said I was out. This one dragged me back in. And there's the front, back, and spine. Anyway, we have, this takes place on, I guess, it's the hottest day of the year. It's the hottest day in August in this neighborhood. And we have a guy, it's a predominantly black neighborhood. And we have this white family, this white Italian family. And the father is Sal, and he runs Sal's Pizzeria. He's been there for 25 years, and he's had no problems. Everybody from the neighborhood goes there. They eat there. They hang out. And he is getting pressure from one of his sons that he should take his pizzeria and go to a different neighborhood because he says things are changing, the climates are changing, there are tensions between the black people and the white people. And he says, I'm not leaving. I've been here for 25 years with no problems. And we follow them through this one day where there are tensions rising. We have, like I said, it's the hottest day of the year and tensions are rising overall. And we just see what can happen when things kind of come to a head and maybe get out of control a little bit. But this is a fantastic, fantastic movie. It's a home run from Spike Lee. If you haven't seen it, definitely put it high on your list because it's phenomenal. And I could watch this anytime, anywhere. And like I said, the Criterion edition is beautiful. So if you're interested in picking that up, put it on your list for the sale. And these last three, I'm just going to put them together because they're part of I think there's 5 films in it in the series now, in the franchise. But it's all about the trilogy for me. And it is the Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy. It's The Curse of the Black Pearl, Dead Man's Chest, and At World's End. And I put these together because I absolutely love these films. No, I'm not seeing the new one because there's no Johnny Depp, no Captain Jack. Come on, how do you have Pirates of the Caribbean without Johnny Depp as Captain Jack? I don't think they're recasting Captain Jack. I don't know what they're going to do. But these 3, and then the other 2, I think they're good. But it's all about these 3 for me because these were summer blockbusters and they always seem to come out for a few years. They came out the week of my birthday. So my go-to birthday was pizza and Pirates of the Caribbean for 3 years in a row. So I absolutely love these movies, and it just takes me back to when I was younger and I was having a good time when other people would probably be out drinking at a bar. I was eating pizza and watching Pirates of the Caribbean. But I absolutely love these movies, and I watch them every summer. I watch all of them throughout the summer, but always the first 3, and now I watch the other 2 because I think they're great. So those are some summer films that I enjoy that are different, a little different from other lists that I've made. I just tried to pick new things that I haven't shared before, or maybe a few that I've shared before, but then I added in some new ones. You get what I'm saying. Now the next segment of this is going to be horror summer films. So that's for the horror people. And as summer goes on, I definitely ramp up my horror watching because to me, I'm already into Halloween season, so I'm sure a lot of you are feeling the same way. But I do like comedies, coming of age things, and then a lot of horror during the summer. But we're going to mix up the content here, no worries. But I want to thank you guys for watching so much. I hope you've had a great, fun and safe Memorial Day weekend. Thank you to everyone who has served us and continues to serve to keep us safe and keep us free. And we appreciate everything you do and all the sacrifices you have made, so I don't want to leave that out. But again, I want to thank everybody for watching. You know, I appreciate everybody who takes time to click on these videos. If you enjoy things like this, recommendations, top 10 lists, collection overviews, chats with other creators about the state of physical media and everything that goes with that, consider subscribing and hit the bell notification. But I'm going to be back real soon. I didn't get much sleep this week, so it's been tough to do content. But I'll be all right this week going forward because my seasonal neighbors will be gone for the week. So That's going to do it for me today. I'm going to go upstairs, watch some movies, and probably have a pizza. And I'll see you real soon, and I'll catch you in the next one. So for today, that's a wrap.